Brian here. Back in 1973 I was living in Amsterdam and I was working at the Amsterdam Hilton. My boss there was a guy called Manfred Brunner. He said he was Austrian, but I think he might have been German. Germans weren't very popular over there in Holland. I've only ever had two bosses in my entire life that I got on with, and Manfred was one of them. Manfred looked after us. It was hot working where we were. Every hour or so he would personally bring us round drinks to cool us down. At the end of the shift he would take us into his office and we could have any drinks that we liked. No matter what it was, we could have it. If he wanted us to work any overtime, he was really grateful, and he was just a great boss. I've never got on with bosses. I've even had fights with several of them, but Manfred was a great guy. I'd started out there in the Amsterdam Hilton washing dishes. I didn't do it very long. Manfred put me in charge of all the dishes. Well, he gave me a better job. My job was actually to go around the hotel to all the different restaurants and cafes and nightclub and everything else, and check up what they had and what they needed, and then I would get the guys back in the kitchen to wash stuff and take it to them. So I had a pretty cushy job there, really. I spoiled that because in the end I decided I wanted to be a cook, and I started being a cook instead, but that was a lot harder work, so I spoiled that for myself. Anyway, I digress. At the time there was a lot of tension between the Israelis and the Arab nations. No change there now really, but it was really escalating, and our hotel was used by the Israeli El Al Airlines for some of their cabin crew. Because of the tensions that were there at the time, they had the El Al Airlines had security guys based there, and I was walking through the foyer one morning and there was two El Al security guys in the foyer with a group of cabin crew who were waiting for a bus to take them to Schiphol airport. Three guys burst through the doors waving guns. The El Al security guards immediately drew weapons and opened fire on them. I was a bit there's nothing wrong with my survival instincts. I mean, I'm stuck in the middle here with no weapon at all, and there's people firing guns at each other. I ran into an office which was close by and barricaded myself in. It turned out to be the manager's office, and there was a huge hammering on the door, and this guy was shouting, let me in, it's me, it's Mr. Meyer." That was the general manager. I wasn't opening that door, no way. I told him to fuck off. I said, "Go find somewhere else to hide." He never did find out who locked him out, because by the time he eventually did come back, I'd been long gone. What it turned out had happened was the three guys who burst into the hotel were French bank robbers. They'd robbed the bank and they were being chased by the police. They'd crashed their car outside the hotel and run in trying to escape from the police. One of the El Al security guards was wounded. Both of them were arrested by the police because apparently they weren't allowed to be armed, and they were. I don't know what happened to the bank robbers, but at the time the situation was getting worse and worse between Israel and the Arab countries, and in October, I think it was October the 6th, something like that, the Arab countries invaded Israel. The Israelis were hugely outnumbered in men, tanks, aeroplanes, cannons, everything. And we felt really sorry for the Israelis. So a group of us volunteered, went along to the Israeli embassy and volunteered to go to Israel and fight the Arabs. Uh, or, we were thanked for a kind offer, but the Israelis said there wouldn't be time to take us to Israel and train us and turn us into soldiers. Maybe as well, I would not have been here after that if we had a gone. It was the hotel itself. It was horrible to work in because there were a lot of Israelis working in the hotel, and there were also a lot of Arabs working in the hotel. There were fights going on and arguments and God knows what. It was like a war zone itself. So I thought well, eventually I think the war only lasted about 6 days or something like that, and it was all over. Despite being hugely outnumbered, the Israelis actually wiped the floor with the Arab countries that had attacked them. And I just thought I'd share this story with you. Hope you've enjoyed it.